One of my favorite hadiths that I find myself coming to time and time again is a very famous hadith from the Prophet alayhi salatu salam, in which he said, "Inna min ahabikum ilayya wa akrabikum minni majlisan yawm al-qiyamah ahasinukum akhlaqa." He said that the most beloved of you to me and the closest of you to me on the day of judgment are those of you with the best
Akhlaq.
akhlaq. And so I feel that in my life, that it does matter how many times you pray and what adhkar you do and how many fasts you keep. All of these are things that will be held accountable for on the day of judgment.
MashaAllah.
But the most important thing is your akhlaq with people, how compassionate you are with them, how kind you are to the young orphan, how nice you are in your dealings with the people. My question to you is, that's my favorite hadith. What would be a hadith that you think is so beneficial that every student should know?
SubhanAllah. I love the fact that you asked this question. There are so many hadith that comes to my mind, but the one that stands out, is the hadith of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam where he says, "Al-mu'min al-qawiyu khayrun wa ahabbu min al-mu'min al-da'if." A strong believer. I mean, you look like a strong guy, So we all love to be strong, physically strong, emotionally strong, mentally. We want to develop ourselves. If if we look at this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, it encourages us to be strong. Strong in our academic studies, strong in being a person who can be able to speak, strong in being motivational, being inspirational for the community. Whatever aspect of life you can look at this hadith, it makes you strong. It makes you positive. It brings the best version out, from you. And so, al-mu'min al-qawi, khayrun wa ahabbu ilallahi. Allah says He loves a strong believer than a weak believer. So our deen teaches us to be strong. Allah wants us to be strong, not just physically, but mentally. And with that, the Prophet ﷺ, he says, وَفِي كُلٍّ خَيْرٍ. Regardless of if you're a strong or a weak believer, we don't judge anyone. And this is the beauty of our faith. The commentators of the hadith, they mentions that why doesn't it matter? Because all of us, we have iman and faith. Regardless of if you're stronger than I am, but we all have the same iman. And so he says, what inspires me most about this hadith is the following statement. The Prophet ﷺ, he says, "Ihris ala ma yanfa'uk." That aspire to do things which will benefit you. The Prophet didn't restrict it mostly to something of dini affair. But it also shows whatever aspirations you have in life, as long as it is beneficial for yourself, your family, and your community, aspire. The Arabic poet, he says, إِذَا تَمَنَّيْتَ فَاسْتَكْثِرْ. When you aim high. The sky is the limit. So when you aspire for things which will benefit you. You want to be a doctor? Go ahead. Doctor is going to benefit the community. You want to be an engineer? All of these things, beneficial. And also your deen as well. So, but the thing is, the Prophet ﷺ, he says, when you have plan A, then وَلَا تَعْجِزْ. Do not be lazy. وَاسْتَعِنْ بِاللَّهِ. Seek the help of Allah. وَلَا تَعْجِزْ. Do not be lazy. Everything in life, when you aspire to do something, you must get the help of Allah. If you don't get the help of Allah, وَمَا تَوْفِيقِي إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. What is my ability except that Allah gives me the ability to do something? So this is the second step. When you have a goal, you seek the help of Allah. And then when you seek the help of Allah, وَلَا تَعْجِزْ. Do not be lazy. Do not sit back. Do not think that it's going to happen just like that. When you have this type of a thinking, it creates a lot of energy within you to work, to pursue. And this is the core message of the hadith. Pursue. You know, and then the Prophet ﷺ, he says, وَلَا تَقُلْ لَوْ أَنِّي فَعَلْتُ كَانَ كَذَا وَكَذَا. Don't look back and say, if I had done this, it would have been a different scenario. For example, a lot of young people, they say, oh, we missed that college. I wanted to go to that college. I didn't get to go. I wanted this job. I didn't get this job. I wanted, for example, a person might mature beyond that. He might say, I wanted to marry this person. I didn't get to marry this person. So we shouldn't look back and see the missed opportunities, but look at the doors Allah is opening for us. وَلَكِنْ قُلْ قَدَرُ اللَّهِ مَا شَاءَ فَعَلْ. But you should say that it's the qadr of Allah, whatever He willed, that is it. Because if we were to look back and say, if I had done this, if I had made this decision, if I went to this school, تَفْتَحُ عَمَلَ الشَّيْطَانِ. It would open the door for shaitan to whisper thoughts in our mind. And so we should always look forward, look at the positives within all the negatives. This is what it teaches us also, to be strong and to continuously focus on improving yourself as a Muslim. And this will make our community stronger.